Welcome to the second episode of this Disney World Rides ranking series. As you can tell by the title and thumbnail of the video, we will be covering Hollywood Studios today. For a while, this was one of my favorite theme parks in the world, and was my favorite at Walt Disney World. Growing up, this has dropped in my park rankings because it's kind of lost in the vibe of the park. It doesn't have the studio vibe anymore, and I'm excited for a lot of the changes, especially the Monsters Inc. one, but it just doesn't feel like the old Hollywood Studios. It's going to be really cool, though, to see Disney build their first inverted coaster, and the fact that it's going to be themed to one of my favorite IPs is just a bonus. But anyways, let's get on to the actual ranking. There are 9 rides at the park, and only one of them I would consider a bad ride, and here it is. Number 9, Alien Swirling Saucers. This is one of the weirdest rides I've ever done, because it's basically just like spinning in 2 different directions. Your car is attached to another vehicle with an alien on top of it, and your car is spinning while the other thing that your car is attached to swings. It's kind of nauseating, and I feel it's unnecessary. I would have loved a different ride in the Toy Story Land, but we have to work with what we have. Number 8, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This ride kind of disappointed me. It has one scene you can get on the ride, and they're adding a second one. After a little bit, it just gets repetitive. One of the cool aspects of the ride, however, is there are different jobs you can have. Like, you can pilot the ship, be a gunner, or an engineer. Pilot's the most popular role because you actually get to control where the ship goes. I'm not a fan of this because it doesn't really feel like I have any actual control, so I normally pick gunner. But that's not awesome either because you basically just spam buttons the whole ride. And the engineer, I've never actually done, because all you really do is click a button at the end of the ride. I mean, it's solid, but I think there's so much more you could have done with the ride than using the Millennium Falcon. But again, we have to work with what we have. Number 7, Star Tours. Every single ride from here on is just a favorite of mine, and this Star Wars ride is just so much better than Smuggler's Run. There's so many more scenes you can get on the ride, and every ride is a different experience. I also really like the aspect where it picks a spy on your ship. It really adds an interactive element to the ride. And another great part is the queue. On average, it's about a 10-minute wait, so it's great to just lap if you don't have fast passes or landing lanes. Star Tours is a 10 out of 10 simulator, just one of my favorites in the world. Number 6, Slinky Dog Dash. This is just an interesting coaster. I have very mixed feelings on it. It's really tame in some areas and kind of forceless, but the theme on it is incredible. There's just something about being on a roller coaster that also bumps it on the list more. This is just one of those rides that I'm okay waiting an hour for, just not 2. It's kind of a must-do when you go because of how much nostalgia I have to this ride, which is funny because the ride's only been around for 7 years. I think it fits in perfectly with the Toy Story Land, and I really like the story around it. Honestly, this and Star Tours is interchangeable, and they're kind of equal rides, but I'm going to have to give the edge to Slinky Dog because it's a coaster. Number 5, Toy Story Mania. This is the superior shooting dark ride in the resort. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin is nothing compared to this. I understand people's complaints that this uses too many screens over practical sets, but I think that's what makes it so cool. Each screen is a different theme and you're shooting different projectiles. That's something you can't do with practical sets. I also really like the competitive aspect of it. I'm not super competitive when I do Space Ranger Spin, but on this I am fighting for my life. This is just an unskippable ride at Hollywood Studios, and the queue was great as well. I'm shocked how well Disney did these parks' queue lines compared to the others, and that's why it's actually bearable to wait in line in this park. Number 4, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. From now on, this is the best of the best rides. Every single one from now on is elite. Another beautifully done trackless dark ride, and I don't really have a complaint. I think they do the practical sets really well, and the screens that they fit in really well, and you can't really tell that they are a screen. I'm not normally a fan of projected faces and animatronics, but I think this ride does it in a way that it's bearable. Unpopular opinion, but I'm a bigger fan of this ride than I was of the Great Movie Ride. In fairness, I don't really remember that ride as much, but I love this ride so much, I doubt that I would love the Great Movie Ride more. Number 3, Rock and Roller Coaster. I personally believe that this and Everest are the 2 most intense coasters in the park, or resort. This one, however, holds a little more sentimental value. This was my first inverting roller coaster, and as a smaller child, I would get so nervous getting into the station room and watching the trains launch from 0 to 60 in seconds. But once that launch comes, the rest of the ride was just pure excitement. I have such an attachment to this ride and I can't skip it. I have to ride this multiple times when I come to Walt Disney World, and I have mixed feelings on the Muppet theme. I've never been attached to the Aerosmith theme of the ride, and I don't think this will hurt because it'll just be the same ride experience. So I'll just have to see to find out. Number 2, Rise of the Resistance. This is probably the most impressive dark ride of all time. The queue is basically just part of the experience, and when you get in the actual ride vehicle, you realize, oh wait, the ride hasn't even started yet. I understand this could shock a lot of you that I don't have this at number 1, but you'll just have to hear me out. On to the actual ride experience, this ride is pretty long and it has some of the coolest mechanics to it. You have that shaft thing that brings you up like an elevator so you're face to face with the massive AT-AT, or that's what I think it is. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. I'm also a really big fan of the escape pod section, where you have essentially what is a drop track. When I was riding this, I was not expecting it at all. This ride just has so many surprises up its sleeve, and you'll just have to ride it to find the rest out. Number 1, Tower of Terror. I love drop towers so much. One of my favorite sensations on amusement rides is airtime, and this just gives amazing little pops. I also really like the spooky theme. Now, I'm not a fan of horror movies, but I like spooky and scary stuff. I used to be so scared to go on this, but when I gave it my first shot back in 2019 to 2020, I fell in love with the ride, and it's been my favorite Hollywood Studios since. I would be so incredibly sad if they rethemed this like they did the one at California Adventure. But anyway, that's the video. I have a lot of cool updates happening soon, along with the next episodes in this series. It's been really hard to get stuff out with everything that's been happening at school, and just me having some illnesses. I'm also thinking about a channel rebrand in the future, because I'm not a fan of the current one. So if you have any suggestions, comment them below, and I might end up using one of them. That being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.